Welcome to Sandwich Chamber Presents, a program that showcases the members of the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce. My name is Joe Arno. I'm a realtor with the Destination Realty Group. I'm here with Steve Gonville from Cape Cod Textile. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Joe. Nice to be here.
You've been in Sandwich for quite a while now?
We've been in Sandwich, a resident of Sandwich for over 25 years now.
Okay.
My family, my wife is originally from Osterville, so she's a native Cape Codder. I'm a Washer I guess even after 25 years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That. And we have 3 kids going through the Sandwich school system.
Great. And how long have you been running Cape Cod Textile?
I purchased Cape Cod Textile in 2008.
And how'd you get into this business?
Originally my background, I worked at MetLife for 15 years and managed the graphics department there, which we were heavily involved with print and advertising, video. So my background's always been in that. And then for 3 years, worked for a company called Image Links. They were based out of England. And my office was up in Wilmington.
So you're commuting
from Sandwich? So I commuted from Sandwich to Wilmington for 3 years, and the account that I worked on there was Duracell. Their big account in the U.S. was Gillette.
Okay.
And Gillette owned Duracell at the time. So I would commute down to Bethel, Connecticut every week to see the client down there. So I did that for 3 years. And then this opportunity, actually prior to this, I had a gallery, custom framing art gallery off Cape in Paden-Aram. Had that for 5 years in conjunction with this, purchased this in 2008 and still ran the gallery for a couple of years.
So you're still commuting off Cape?
So we're still commuting off Cape, and then in 2010 sold the gallery. So now it's just Cape Cod Textile that we have.
And how many people do you employ here?
It fluctuates. We're seasonal. You know, summertime is the busy time for us. We're usually on the slow side, about 10 people average, up to 15 typically.
So you do the seasonal a lot for the seasonal businesses
right.
that come
Yeah,
around?
June starts, well, it actually starts in the spring, it starts picking up because people start thinking about their orders for the we have a lot of, the outdoor clients, landscapers, painters, so they start thinking about it. And the retail, we do a couple of large retail shops, so they start ordering in the springtime. So May starts picking up, June starts even more, and then June, July, August is our busiest months.
And who are your primary clients? Is it the local community, the Cape Cod community?
Well, it's a good mix, because with the apparel side of the business and the embroidery and the screen printing, it's a lot of local businesses. But we're all over the Cape. We're off the Cape as well. And we're expanding a little more into that. We've got salespeople that are kind of concentrating in the off-Cape market. But with our bib product, we actually are around the country.
Why don't you tell me more about the bibs? Because I think for when we first spoke, that really surprised me.
Right.
That you actually had you were making bibs here.
Exactly. Yeah, we are actually one of the largest manufacturers in the U.S. for baby bibs. There are other distributors and there are other sellers, but they're mainly getting their bibs from China. So as far as bibs made in the USA, we are one of the largest manufacturers, and it's bolts of material, raw material that we get in. We cut them, do the trim, the snaps, Velcro, ties, all sorts of colors. And we distribute those to, it's all strictly wholesale. We don't do any retail on the bibs. And some of our largest customers are state agencies. They purchase them for their WIC program, lead-free, mother's milk, and we've had orders up to 50, 60,000, bibs at a time that we've run through the factory.
And you run that all right through here?
We run it right through here. Yep. And that, I think, that was one of the things that really surprised me when I bought the company. I knew the industry, and I knew screen printing and embroidery and apparel, but when I talked to the broker who sold me the business and the owner, I said, yeah, and 25%, approximately 25% of the business is baby bibs. I said, baby bibs? On Cape Cod? Really?
Right,
really?
right.
Cape Cod? And when we ran through the operation and ran through some of the figures and the customers, it was just unbelievable. And I think the potential then and now is just, it's great. It's the opportunity is just, I think we're just still at this point still scratching the surface of the opportunity, because they do take us around the country, and we're actually. We've actually started looking into some international markets as well. I mean, we sell to Guam, American Samoa, and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Now, is that because you're an American company, a manufacturer, or is that because of the product itself?
That's because of the product itself, right? And those even outside the U.S., they're they're sort of state agency type things that they're doing the same thing. It's either a WIC program or a lead-free or mother's milk program, and they use those basically they're produced, they're purchased, and they're handed out to new mothers. That's how they utilize the bibs.
It's quite a niche.
It's fantastic. Like I say, when we were shocked by it. My wife and like baby bibs. I mean, honestly, but the potential that I saw with that, and like I said, I think we're still just scratching the surface of it. The potential is just fantastic, and that's one of the goals for 2012 for the company, is to expand that.
Maybe I should get one with my real estate logo on it.
There you go.
For all those little babies.
Well, we do make adult bibs too.
Oh, you do? Actually, there's some nights I could use one of those.
Yeah, and the bibs we've sold to a lot of restaurants too. Lobster.
Oh yeah,
lobster bibs.
Yeah.
So we've done a lot of that, and even the adult bibs is a market that we've sort of scratched the surface on, but potentially there's a market there too, for the nursing homes and the medical fields. So a lot of potential.
Very interesting.
A lot of potential.
So tell me about your other business. Why don't you explain to us the difference between printing and embroidery?
Yep.
The
two areas that we do on the apparel are screen printing and embroidery, and the screen printing process involves typically a customer. We get all sorts of customers. We'll get a customer that will have their logo or design already set up. We'll have a customer that will come in that's scratched on a napkin, and they have an idea in their head, and our art director, George Wright, is fantastic to take that initial concept and develop it into an actual logo or design that's utilized on the shirt. But the screen printing process is the art is designed by the art director. It's shot onto films. The films are shot onto screens, and the screens are burnt and washed, so the image just appears on the screen, and then that's loaded onto the press, and the ink is run through the screen, and that goes onto the shirt itself.
And you can do multiple colors.
And multiple colors. So obviously the easiest is is a one-color design. It's one screen. Could be multiple locations, front, back, sleeves. Now they're getting into a lot of different areas. Sleeves, what they call the lock patch on the back, up by the neck. Even various locations on the sleeves. So creates, a bit of a challenge for us, but makes it, I think it makes it interesting for the crew too.
It must be very manually intensive, I would think.
The screen printing side of it is manually intensive, because there's the setup, and that's why we try to explain to, we'll have customers come in, and it varies. We'll do anywhere from 12 shirts to 20, 30, 40,000, 50,000 shirts. Obviously for the 50,000, you got that one design, you have it set up, and you run it off.
Right.
It's just manual, keep it going. But for the 12 shirts, it's the same setup. It's shooting the artwork onto the screens and doing the screens onto the press, and then setting up the screens on the press. Obviously one color, one screen on the press, but 6, 8 colors. Each one of those colors now is a screen that has to be set on the press and not just placed on there. It has to be registered, so each design falls on top of in the right area, and that's a critical part of it, because you can print it, but if the registration is off, those colors get get a little mixed up and off cue.
I saw the machine. Does it run through one color at a time and then get heated and then the next color, or is it able to run?
Nope. Depending on
once?
what size press you have. On the manual press, we have a 6 color station, so we can do up to 6 colors
Before it goes in?
Right.
Oh.
Each station has a different color on it.
Okay.
So it'll run through the head. It'll do, if it's red, it'll do the red, and then next color's white, and then blue, or whatever the colors are. So, and it's only limited by the number of heads that you have on the machine. So we have the automatic is 8, but you can get 10, 12. That's typically
It's a lot of color.
ample enough to cover any design we have. So that's the screen printing side of it. The embroidery is the same thing as far as the artwork goes. Customer comes in, design the artwork.
And they don't need to have it. They can come here with just an idea, and George can put it together.
That's I think that's the beauty. Not all shops are equipped like that. They'll send it out to a design firm to have it designed. But with an in-house art director on staff, is that, and he's fantastic. He's actually won awards for some of the designs he's done. But with that, we're able to work directly with the customer, either by phone and a lot of it's email. The files are emailed over, and work with it that way. And prior to printing anything, everything's approved by the customer. But that part of it really lends a lot of credibility to the art side of it. The embroidery part of it is the same thing. It's the art goes out, and then once that's approved, that file now gets. We don't have an in-house digitizer. The file actually gets digitized, so each one of those colors, it's created on this software program. They digitize it. It's sent back. Then it's loaded onto the computer here, and sent out to the machine. So it's all computerized. Sent out to. We have a 6 head and 2 single heads. So if we've got a design that's 36 pieces, 100 pieces, we can run that on the 6 head and do six at a time, as opposed to 1 at a time.
And how many colors can you do?
On the 6 head, we can do 9 colors, and on the single heads, we can do up to 12 colors. And typically, any embroidery design, we've never had a problem, because typically they average probably maybe 5 or 6 colors. We have done up to 12, but typically they're, because that's labor intensive.
Do you have any one product that you see more than others? For the embroidery, the sweatshirt or the hats. I know I saw quite a few things going on back there today.
Yeah, we do. It's a good mix. I would say the polo shirt would probably be the most popular on the embroidery side, but we do a lot of hats, and sweatshirts are really becoming a good product for us. We're doing a number of those. It really depends on the time of the year and the customer, because on the time of the is that springtime people are thinking about the polo shirts, and then summertime it's t-shirts or hats. Fall, that's when we really start seeing a lot of and a lot of people are doing jackets now too as well. Jackets, but we can do on the embroidery as well as the printing. We can do just about anything. We've done sports bags, sacks, backpacks, hats, all sorts of hats, the knit hats, the baseball hats, We've even done custom embroidery for pieces that people have brought in that they already own. And it might be a pair of pants, it might be a special bag that they have, it might be a blanket, whatever. We do, we have, one of our customers is the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, and they have, for their different events, they have a couple of sashes that they bring in. They have blankets for some of the horses that they want to embroider and personalize. So we'll do some of that stuff. We're really, you know, all-around shop as far as, you know, meeting the customer needs as far as those special programs. Because honestly, that was part of it. When I bought the company here, back in 2008, my neighbor was, still is, Denise Dever,
Okay.
who, you know, back then obviously a big part of the Sandwich Chamber, but also encouraged me to join, which I had every intention of doing it, but of course, you know, purchasing a business had its challenges, you know, at the beginning. So
Sure.
focused on that, but eventually joined the chamber, and now with Denise's encouragement, also a member of the board of directors, which I think is absolutely, you know, fantastic, and I think every business in Sandwich should be part of it. It's just such a positive thing. It's been a fantastic positive experience for me, and one that I've always intended on doing. But boy, the benefits from it are just, I mean, they're fantastic. Yeah, and I can't even count them. The number of events that we've been to, the number of people that we've met, the number of businesses that have now started to do business with us. I mean, the opportunity is just, you know, it's invaluable. As far as
I
I'm
think you
concerned.
know the big part of it is such a positive group, and they're all in there for the better of the
Right,
town,
right.
for everybody's business.
Right.
It's not just my business, or not just your business. It's everybody's business.
Well, you know, we're also, and I guess we're also a member of the Canal Region Chamber, and also the Cape Cod Chamber, and one of the B&I groups. And they all have, you know, they all have positive things about them. And being right here in town, that was one of the biggest, not the sole decision to make when I purchased the company, but the fact that it was in Sandwich and we were residents of Sandwich, and it's 4 miles from the house, obviously played some sort of part in the decision, because I've always commuted 15 years up to Warwick, Rhode Island, 3 years up to Wilmington, Mass. When the opportunity came up that it was 4 miles from the broker came to me, and he sold me the gallery off Cape, and he said, "I've got this business. I think you might be interested in it because I know your background, and it falls right in that." He said, "But in addition to that, it's in Sandwich." And I said, "Sandwich? Where?" He said, "Yeah, and it's, I know where you live, and it's probably 4 or 5 miles from your house." I said, "I don't even know. I don't even have to know what it is. Just show me, and tell me about." And it just it just worked out. I mean, the background that I had, as well as the business, and once we really looked into the business, the opportunity was just incredible. I mean, we mentioned it to, you know, we started talking to our family, and we started talking to friends, and I know someone that could use that, and I know someone, and everybody that you talk to that had a business obviously could use that product.
Sure.
So that's why I thought, boy, the opportunity is just fantastic.
And you're expanding your product line with the promotional items that you
The
bring in.
promotional items is a line of products that we don't push a lot, but I would really like to concentrate that in 2012, because they go hand in hand with our other products, and we see it every day. It's just that we don't focus on that because the screen printing and embroidery is a large part of the business. But we have customers that come in that buy T-shirts, and they'll ask, you know, "Oh, I might want to get some pens Well, we do the pens, we do the koozies, we do the towels, we do the frisbees, we do all those, and they do go. Basically, it's one-stop shopping.
Sure. They go hand in hand
to,
for sure.
to be able to offer that for the promotional, because if you've got a business and you're doing T-shirts, whether it's for your staff or even some of the companies that we do them for, depending on who they are using the shirts or sweatshirts or hats for promotional materials. But in addition to that, to be able to offer those other products, they really do, and it's ease for them. The convenience is just when they hear about it and they utilize it. Like, boy, why didn't we think about this before, and why haven't we done it? So that's an area that we really want to concentrate more on for 2000.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Products, yep.
Makes sense. You mentioned that you joined the chamber, but you were doing a lot in the community for a lot of the local teams and supporting them. Why don't you
We
delve
do
into that a little bit?
we do a lot with the the local rec leagues, the Little League and basketball and baseball. We're really heavily involved with the Sandwich High School. One, because the kids go through there. My daughter graduated from there a couple of years ago. She's now at Salve, but I have a daughter that's on the cross-country team now. And where even prior to that, the company was always involved with some sort of program there, and not just doing, and providing goods for them, but supporting, supporting the local schools. Same thing with the Forestdale and the Wing and Oak Ridge.
You did a lot with Pop Warner football.
And we've done a lot with Pop Warner. That we were kind of involved with, I think, for about 10 years, and then when I took over in 2008. We weren't doing too much with it, and now we're doing more with it. But even their budget is affected somewhat too. But we are doing a lot with them. We do a lot of work with the Riverview School. I do a lot of work. We are a designated veteran business, so we do a lot of support with the VOC, which is the Veterans Outreach Center, and also the homeless shelter for the veterans. So we do a lot of work with them and some of the local charities that we get involved with, kind of low key. But
so you were a Marine? Is that?
Yes.
That was. I noticed your cuff. I thought that was.
Yep.
Very nice touch.
Yep.
Thank you.
Been at a Marine 75 to 79, and over in stationed over in Poland at the embassy over there in Finland for a couple of years.
Wow.
So I did embassy duty over there. That's one of the organizations that we're involved in too. Is the MEGA? It's called MEGA. It's the Marine Embassy Guard Association. In fact, we just had the Marine Corps birthday. November 10th up in Boston with, I think, about 2,000 other Marines up there.
Fun.
So,
good.
And everybody was well behaved.
Yeah.
But that was the other reason why I was so excited to be able to get this opportunity to purchase the business of Sandwich, because I do want to get more involved with the community. I think it's really important that, as a business, but also as a resident, they go hand in hand, and the community involvement as well as the support, whether it's the schools or the charities or the fundraisers. We do a lot of work right now, but I really want to concentrate and expand on that.
Good,
So.
good. Your efforts are appreciated.
Yep, thank you.
A lot of people watching this may not recognize you. You have a front man in the office that most of the people deal with locally.
Right.
And why don't you tell us about Gary?
That is Gary Nemi, who is my general manager, vice president. He's been with the company since 1984 is when it started out as Pilgrim Prints. And early 90s, they merged with another fellow, with Cape Cod Textile, and later became Cape Cod Textile, the name. But Pilgrim Prints and Cape Cod Textile ran for through the 90s. They expanded. In the early 90s is when we got the automatic press and really started expanding the business. But back then, some of the customers, in fact, some of the customers that we had were Bradley's department store, Leachmere, some of the bigger, and Ames was another one that we did some work with.
A lot of people may not know those companies.
I know. Well, it's funny is that when I heard, I recognized it, and then I mentioned it to a couple, and they were same reaction.
Yeah.
Ames, who's that? Or
it's been a while.
So we went through that. The company went through that period where it did a lot of heavy work in the retail side of it with those companies, but they went out of business. But we were still able to maintain the sales level that even back then dealing with them. So we've been strong through that. Gary was a big part of that. Not only on the operation side, but on the customer side. He's worked with. We still have customers that have worked with him back in the early days, in the early '80s. So, which says a lot for it says a lot for the company, and it says a lot for Gary as far as
Sure.
His customer service and his attitude towards providing the right product and the right customer service. He knows the product. I don't think there's anybody that knows the product any better than Gary. You can call up and mention, I don't know exactly what I want. I just know that it's it. No problem. I'll find it for you to come through and put it all together. He's really got a knack. He's been around. He's been around the industry, and he knows it. And he's right on top of it. He's got a good face for the company, a good attitude. And I think people have really become to depend on Gary. Like I said,
as have you.
Certainly, I have. I think without Gary here and without some of the other stuff, we have like I said, average 10 to 15 people, but we have combined over it's over 100 years of experience in the industry. And some of the printers and production people that we have, they've been around for a while, and we've got some new, fresh faces in that actually provide, a little incentive for the old guys to kind of pick up some of the new stuff. And it works. The crew right now, I think. In fact, we just had a meeting a couple weeks ago, and the crew that we currently have now, I think, is probably the best crew that we had. Everybody gets along. And that's a difficult challenge for a manager with the people. But right now we've got a crew. They're all excited about it. In fact, that's why we're in the middle of kind of redoing the place and painting and remodeling, because they're excited about it.
Great.
I actually have a crew that's
nice.
That's excited to do that, and not just at the end of the day say, all right, let's go home. No, we want to get the place. They have to come in and work in it every day.
That's
so
right.
For them, I think it's a good, a morale boost to be able to come into an environment that's, neat and clean and looking good. And I think for a factory, that's always a challenge. But
Sure.
we've got we've got a crew that's willing to do that stuff. And Gary's behind that as well.
Well, Steve, I appreciate you coming on the show. It was great learning what you do. Great quality work. It's nice for you to be part of the community and supporting the community in so many ways.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come on the show, and also the opportunity to be involved in Sandwich and the community, and look forward to many more years and a lot more support in the community.
Thank you again. If you'd like to be on the show and present your company, and you're not already a Sandwich Chamber member, please call the Sandwich Chamber of Commerce and join, and we'll put you on this show. You can also watch the show on sandwichtv.org or on channel 13, and also on YouTube and Facebook. Many chances to see this and expose your company. Thank you for joining us. you.